morning. Welcome to the Qualk Show and happy Thursday night. On tonight's show, we're talking all about astrology with my mother-in-law, soon to be someday, if it's in the cards.
Better be in cash on the ring.
Yeah, exactly. With her mother's approval. So I hope I'm in at this point. But she knows all about this astrology stuff. This is kind of like our Valentine's Day special today. So we're talking about love and whether you should love somebody, maybe you shouldn't. We're going to get to all of that. We have on the panel tonight, as per usual, Stephanie, Hallie, and yours truly. Hello.
Hi, Carol.
Hi. So, Hallie, before we go any further, how can people get a hold of us?
You want to make sure and comment, or actually we're live. So if you're watching this afterwards, comment, but we're live right now. So I'm typing in chat. Hi.
Yes, go to chat and type. Like last week, a bunch of people were trying to and they couldn't. So can they this week, Hallie?
They can do it this week. I am also currently posting this on our Facebook page. Facebook also likes to block YouTube though, so you may not see it right away. So if you're seeing this after the fact, put comments, otherwise chat with us live. Everything, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, your mama, just go to the Qualk Show. We're on all of it.
That's awesome. So please stop me and let me know if people have comments or questions for Denise or myself. We'd love to. Oh, we've got a comment already.
Two people with us.
Are they commenting or they're just there?
They are. We got Chanel and Jacqueline Thompson.
Hello, Chanel. Hello, Jacqueline.
Chanel.
How was everybody's week? Did you guys have Valentine's Day? What did you do for Valentine's Day?
I made steak and lobster and asparagus. It was really good.
Yum!
It was the first time I've ever made lobster. It was way easier than I thought it would be, and it was so good. And there was
You didn't overcook it, did you?
Huh?
You didn't overcook it, did you?
I didn't. I broiled it for 6.5 minutes, and it was perfect.
Nicely done. What about you, Steph? Was there any house or rocking going on in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, but not on Valentine's Day. Let's be honest here. Valentine's Day when you have children is all about them.
Yeah.
So this week I got a zit, and you know what that means? So we're combating that issue that we have. And then we had a Valentine's party for my kids because my oldest daughter, asked my sister-in-law and her husband to be her Valentines.
Aww.
So we threw them a Valentine's party on Sunday, and Adrian made them chocolate covered strawberries from Riley, and we had other treats. We had homemade heart-shaped pizzas.
Adorable. You guys went all out. You've got older kids. Taya doesn't care yet.
You guys are totally like the Pinterest mom, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Well, I mean, we don't suck. Maybe I'll share the pictures on the Qualk Show page from it. Because
Nicole and I, on the other hand, really suck because we actually even had Nana lined up. We called it months ago could we have you babysit on Valentine's Day so we can go out for a romantic dinner? Nana, of course, blah, blah, blah. And Nana's the only one we would trust our kid with, just an FYI. And we're like going out for dinner. And then the night before, Nicole's like, do you really want to go for dinner? I'm like, not really. I don't really want to get dressed up. I don't really want to go out.
I hate going out on Valentine's Day. I make it a point to never go out anywhere on Valentine's Day. It's insane to try to get reservations. That's why it's always.
I love it.
Exactly.
I love being sandwiched in between other people and sharing tables with people. I really like trying to find a parking spot.
Yeah. So last minute, I'm like, oh, I better go get some flowers or something because we're not going for dinner now. Now I'm screwed. I was going to pay for dinner. I can't. So
how much does a dozen roses cost in Canada?
A dozen roses?
Yeah.
On Valentine's Day, $30. Yeah, regular maybe $20. Valentine's Day, $30. I'm not a roses girl though. I think they're super cliche, and I'm also a little bit cheap. So
I don't like roses either. I like different ones.
Yeah, exactly. I got her some roses. I got her some lilies because I think they're really pretty, and she got me this adorable little heart-shaped. I don't know what it is. It's like a little statue with like the key holds it up and you color it in together. Like you color it, like it's like a ceramic thing, I guess. And Nicole's not the touchy-feely one in our relationship, believe it or not. Everyone believes it. Yeah, that knows her, exactly. And she got me this card that has all of these matching little Valentines on it as part of the card, like it folds out and out and out. And on the back of each one, she wrote something really sweet to me, like something different. So that was pretty cute. That was pretty cute. What about our viewers? Is Chanel, Jacqueline, what did you guys do for Valentine's Day? Is anybody commenting? Is there anything going on there?
I need to know if Chanel's kids made or anything.
Nobody cares. No. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, Chanel did something with her kids. That's right. I did see that. So we're continuing our month-long focus on relationships. And tonight, it's going to be a little bit of fun. We're thrilled to welcome back our own personal astrologer to the Qualk Show, Denise, also my someday mother-in-law, as we discuss couples astrology. And I've mentioned this on some of our previous shows. Unbeknownst to me, when I met Nicole, I did not know how thick this astrology ran in her family, but I came to learn that they had studied me from top to bottom, every sign, everything to know if we would even be a good fit before my foot was in the door. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of interesting from that standpoint. So we're going to go through and first of all, just in general, Mom, can you tell us what are some of the signs that work better with each other, and what are some of the signs that are kind of like oil and vinegar?
Well, the first rule of thumb, sort of speaking, is it's your sun sign. So that's your ego. So you're going to connect to somebody with your, now our charts are very complicated. Mm-hmm. So if you say, oh, I don't like a sign I'm supposed to be compatible with, there's other reasons. Mm-hmm. But basically you look to your basics of the fire signs, which are the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or you go with the water signs, the Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, get along, or the Earth, the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and what's left?
The heirs?
Right.
Us heirs.
Yeah.
We just split about.
Libra, Aquarius, and what am I missing? Libra, Aquarius,
Gemini.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gemini.
Your daughter-in-law. That's
That's the place in hell from Gemini, like Carol.
So are you saying that like the signs actually work good together, or signs work good with
those work
signs?
well together? Okay. Now what's interesting is that's your element, what they call the element. So it's the water, fire, earth, or water, fire, earth, or air. Yeah. So you're going to get along. Yeah. But now air and fire go well
because
together.
The fire needs air, right?
Right. But your earth and your fire don't do so
your well, earth puts out fire.
Right. So that's the first
So
part.
Nicole's a water and I'm an air. So why do we or do we not work together?
Well, you work together because you have so much Cancer in your chart. Your sign is next to hers. So when your sign is next to someone else's, month-wise, often you'll be compatible because one of you or both of you has other planets at the time of your birth that are in the other person's sign, especially the planets that are close to the sun: Mercury, Venus, Mars. Those are the ones that are closest. So, and as a matter of fact, they're so close that your Mercury can never be more than the sign before your own sun sign or the sign after. So if your Mercury, which is our communication planet, is touching, you're going to get along with the sign right before, depending on where your Mercury is. Okay. So that's one of the draws of the next two sign.
Okay.
Then the other big draw is the time of day, and that's where it gets more complicated. That's where your time of day, you're a Gemini. You meet somebody whose time of day says they have Gemini rising, boom, you're connecting, just,
I've had a few
even
Geminis.
if it's the cashier at the grocery store. You know how some people you just click with, like even at the grocery store or at the dry cleaners or wherever. And it doesn't mean you want to marry them, but you still have a really good energy and rapport. Yeah. You just
obviously haven't seen my cashier.
No, and that's the other thing that I said last time too, to always remind you, when something turns into a very negative relationship, what happens is all your planets are touching all their planets, whether it be positive or negative.
If you're lucky.
It doesn't matter. What you're picking up on is the energy, and there's so much energy that we, in the very beginning, mistake it for, we're in love. No, it's just a ton of energy here. And then those are the kind of relationships that within a year you're going, oh my God, I can't stand this person.
Yeah.
Rather than you know.
That's what I found with Geminis. I've dated other Geminis, and we burn hot and fast, and then it explodes all over both of us.
Well, and that's the thing too. You either do your own, if your own sign, if your own sun sign is nicely placed, as we call it, in your own chart,
Yeah.
then most often you're going to get along with your own sign.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking marriage or anything. I'm just
Yeah.
saying you'll get along with your own sign.
Exactly.
But if you review all your friendships and everybody in your life, you're going to see a theme. There is a theme. You're either drawing fire people to you, or you're drawing all Virgos, or you're drawing, you will, there is even in the workplace, you see a theme.
See, I've drawn Geminis and Scorpios, who I hate.
Yeah, but you have lots of
I am so freaking amazing. Okay.
That's why when I found out you were a Scorpio, I was like, oh God. But you are amazing. I don't think I'd want to date you, but I think you're amazing. But
I don't know what to expect every day with a Gemini.
I know. Well, you don't. But Nicole's the first Cancer that I ever dated, and it's funny because I have a theory, probably wrong, that they say that women many times grow up to date people who are like their father. And my father wasn't really involved in my life when I was growing up. And my mom is a Cancer, and I've never dated a Cancer before. And a couple weeks before I met Nicole, I thought, maybe I should try to find a Cancer. Like, maybe that's the missing element, because the only person who's ever been there for me my entire life has been my mom, and she's a Cancer. And then, lo and behold, here comes this little crab.
I said the same thing about Adria being a Pisces. I always convinced myself that I will only ever marry a Pisces, especially after I was with a Leo and a Virgo. I was like, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
And then the person I dated before Adria was a Gemini. It was the worst relationship.
She was so much fun, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah, a blast in a glass. That's what that was. Crazy bitch.
Holly, let's get you
So
in
when
here.
I said that, here she is, and it's so dope.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Hallie, let's get you in here. Hallie's in a newer relationship, the newest of all of us.
Okay.
And we're either going to build it up or completely destroy it right now. So Hallie is May 17th, 1980. So May 17th, is that, no, that's
Taurus.
86.
86, yeah. Sorry, I wrote it down wrong.
Don't you put 6 years on me.
So she's a Taurus. There's the Taurus coming out right there. And Brooke is March 21st. So that's right on the cusp, isn't it? The 21st?
Yes. Yeah. And each year it changes a bit. So that's the beginning of Aries.
So what's her sun sign? Brooks?
Brooks is Aries.
Aries.
Exactly.
So Aries and Taurus, do they stand a chance?
No, that's the first, what I was just talking about. No, that was the first thing I was talking about. If you end up with a sign that's next to yours, there was a draw. There was something going on. One of you probably have some planets in Aries, or she has planets in Taurus.
They've had a few,
and that's
in each other. Sorry.
If you're referring to the way they control people, that is a commonality.
Exactly.
Right. Now, there's so many factors there's so many things that can say why you get into ego conflicts, or why you fight, or why you don't, or you do, or you have a lack of communication, or you're very good at communicating. There's so many different things. But what I would suggest to any of you is there's so many freebies out there. At some point, find one of those little astro sites where you plug in all your information. And it gives you that round wheel, right? I'm grabbing.
Nicole did this for us. Nicole did the full.
Yeah, Nicole did the full one for her. Because Nicole are you second generation? She's third, or you're first and she's second?
I'm first.
You're first and she's second.
Yeah.
So
you know what the wheel is. So
I know what the wheel is.
Right, and with your time of birth, then it's going to explain where Mercury was when you were born, what your rising sign, where the moon was, and the moon moves constantly. It's every couple of days. So when you know all that, then you compare it to the other person. Then there's lots of crisscrossing going on, but basically what it comes down to is your Mercury works with it or it doesn't. And then, there's sort of a checklist for an astrologer. I mean, because I used to do a lot of couple stuff. And there's sort of a checklist. And the bottom line is if you're 60% good or better, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You're never going to get 100.
Nicole didn't give me a percentage.
Nicole didn't give you a percentage?
No, and she did it, and I don't know what she sent you. So did she send you an actual compatibility
She
thing?
sent me, it was huge. I mean, there's things that say like Sun conjunct Mercury.
Right, exactly.
The opposite of Sun and Mercury signifies that there will be a great deal of mental activity in this relationship.
Right. Now, let's just say if it's squaring another planet in there somewhere, that would be negative. If it's in harmony with another planet, then it's going to be more harmonious in your communication. So just because there's a lot of communication, you know what I was saying? It doesn't.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was really interesting because the whole thing that she gave me, it was a lot of like, it wasn't, oh, sunshines and roses.
No,
but
and it sometimes even seems contradictory. But if you really sit there and sit back and you go, wait a second, that makes sense though. That is what we do, or that is how we're interacting. So
it definitely is.
Those are very, those programs are extremely accurate.
And that was I was going to ask you. So if the a layman at home is just typing it into the computer, you would recommend that? Like they're not complete bunk? Like sometimes I'm like,
you want it, they're bunk if they're only talking sun signs.
Okay.
If they're only talking that, oh, I'm a Leo. Well, that leaves a whole lot left. Yes, a Leo means I have an ego. I want to be appreciated.
Yeah.
But that's,
I must have a little Leo in me.
How do I want to be appreciated? You know what I
Yes.
mean? Do I want to be in the background? Do I want to be in the forefront? Do I just want to be loved for nurturing people, or do I want to be recognized for my math skills? Like, you know what I mean?
I definitely don't want to be recognized for my math.
You know, there's lots going on there.
That is so cool.
But as humans, we identify with our sun
Yeah.
sign the most because that is our ego.
Yeah.
The rest of the world doesn't see us as our sun sign.
So that brings me to another question before we move on to Stephanie. And this is what's the difference between your sun sign and your ascendant sign? Why
Your
are
ascendant.
Yeah, why are people more likely to guess the ascendant sign than the sun sign when they're looking at a person?
Because, and I used to play this game with my ex-sister-in-law. We used to get really good at what do you think? What do you think they're rising and or ascendant?
Okay.
That's based on the time of day.
Oh, okay.
And this is how we get our needs met.
Okay.
So forget that you're a Gemini.
Do you remember what my rising is?
Yes,
What
it's
is it?
Scorpio.
Oh my God! Well, my ex-wife was a Scorpio.
Oh,
Oh, I'm not Scorpio.
That's why you lead with your vagina. I'm just saying.
Sagittarius.
Oh, Sagittarius.
I'm the same as
We are the vaginal chakra.
yeah.
Oh,
My ex-wife was a Scorpio, and I was not getting my needs met at all.
No, but now then again, you go this step further. Okay, I'll give, for example, I am a Leo. My rising sign or ascendant is Sagittarius. For one, my sun is in harmony with my ascendant because they're both fire. So I'm going to come off likable to people, just in general. I don't come off offensively usually to people, even if I'm standing in a crowd, I'm not giving them the air.
Yeah, if anything, you're just really quiet.
Right,
I'd like
right.
you to be a bit more offensive.
Right. So, and then if I have, all my planets are in harmony with my ascendant. So I usually can get my needs met in a congenial, nice, comfortable way. I'm not having to be forceful at people. I'm not having to be bossy at people. I am loud because that is the fire sign thing. We're kind of loud.
Only with family, though. You're not like loud in a crowd.
I'm not loud in a crowd.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, this is, as infants, this is how we learn right away to get our needs met. Do we scream? Do we smile? Do we joke? Do we work hard? There's just
Interesting.
many different ways that we want or we're going to try to get our needs met.
Yeah.
There's the manipulator types of people, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what your rising sign is about. But it's also your rising physically fits more. Like,
What do you mean?
okay, Sagittarius. Now, I'm a Leo. Now, Leos are supposedly known for the blonde, the mane.
The mane of
Okay, I
hair.
got the mane.
Yeah.
But in a Sagittarius fashion, Sagittarius is dark,
Yeah.
tall, and lean.
And that's
So I
my
think-
rising?
that's what fits me. No, but you probably have Jupiter in there that might
Jupiter is like,
no, yeah, exactly. Jupiter puts expansion.
Jupiter is like,
exactly. So
there's a definite Jupiter in my Scorpio.
yeah,
right. No, all the water signs are a little more tendency to wait. For sure. Your thinnest signs are Sagittarius rising, Virgo rising, Libra rising. You even get height and darkness and lightness from, so your rising sign really is what you are physically to the world and how you're getting your needs met.
Interesting. Well, and underneath all the chub, there is actually an athletic person.
Exactly.
So maybe I was meant to be thin, and I've just totally wrecked it.
Well, also too,
honey, you are inside.
Jupiter, and this is how I used to do so well on the psychic line too, when I wouldn't even see a human being, and I'd say, "Oh, you're having a little trouble with your weight." How did you know? Well, you got Jupiter. The Jupiter's sitting right there on the ascendant.
How did you know you didn't ever
Oh, you fatty! Your Jupiter's on your ascendant.
The moon or Jupiter, if they're an aspect to the ascendant, will create a weight.
I love it.
But
so then basically I just need to tell Weight Watchers that I was born this way.
I was born this way.
I should go get a cheeseburger because it don't matter. I'm supposed to be chubby.
But wait, now see, we can go a step further. Then we would look at your chart and we go, where is Saturn? Do you have the discipline to control it? Saturn is our planet that is where we get our control, our self-control, the fears that drive us to control ourselves or our situation. So see, each planet tells us so much. About and then how those planets interact with each other gives you even more layers to the personality.
Yeah,
I'm laughing inside because my daughter's 4 and she loves the planets, and she gives me she got a plate set from our cousin, and she gives me the Jupiter plate all the time. She's like, "Cause you're the biggest." Because I know my wife is watching this and dying now because you're just confirming all of my
The other thing that Jupiter does, it's not what it does is whatever it's touching in your chart, it expands it. So obviously, if it's right, but it's also
expanded.
It's the planet of good luck, and if it's sitting in the right wherever it sits in your chart is the area in your life that you have the most luck.
So weight gain is where I have the most luck.
No, your physical body.
Yes.
I don't know if your Jupiter's in.
Yeah,
I can't remember your chart well enough to know.
I don't know
if it's just aspecting it another way, and it's all geometry. By the way, when I say aspect, it's either at a 90-degree angle or a 120-degree angle or a 45-degree angle. So it's actually geometry. And when it's in aspect, then it still affects it, but it's sitting in another what we call house. Okay. So it would be affecting another area.
And what do these houses represent?
They each represent a different area of your life.
Okay.
The first house is your physical body. The second house is your security and your money. Third house is communication and vehicles and neighbors. And fourth house is your home. You have, I don't leave my house if I can help it. And my moon, which is my emotions, sits in my fourth house. I'm not going anywhere.
Everyone in the family was waiting for it to stop snowing in the Okanagan because Nana was not leaving her house while there was still snow.
There were days I didn't get in the car for like 6 or 7 days. If I could stock up for the winter and just,
Nicole would be like, Nana's beside herself because there's snow expected for the next 3 days. Like, I don't know what to do. So how much of this is nature versus nurture? So for example, like it's down to the hour you were born and this is what forms all of these signs, but can some of it be formed by, say, abandonment issues growing up, different things that
your environment
change your outlook.
And Nicole and I talk about that a lot, and the other astrologers that I communicate with, we talk about the same thing. And you can have, like, for example, twins, same environment, same everything, but they're very different, even identical twins. And that's, if you look closely and analyze well enough, you notice that they did take the same elements, but there's free will. We all have free will. So they're utilizing it differently, but if you can see, it's the same pattern or the same trend or the same little idiosyncrasy. They've just done it in 2 different ways. Let's say we had an alcoholic and a marathon runner. Both obsessive, right?
Fair enough. Just about whatever they're obsessive about.
Exactly. So
I'm sure you have alcoholic runners out there in just one body too. So
yeah. And then our, they always say, oh, if you had a better environment, and this is where I say, you're kind of born with the personality that you have. And yes, if you have, if you're in the worst situation, it might accentuate it or bring it on stronger. But for those who, let's say, have real abandonment issues because they think they were, guess what? They could have been in the super loving home of the world and still had the same issues. If the abandonment thing is in you, it's in you. But the thing is, often we have an environment situation make it look like that's what caused it.
Yeah, interesting. So what was the verdict on Hallie and Brooke? Are they going to make it, or should we just start writing condolence cards now?
Well,
I know you don't know.
I don't know. But you had the compatibility thing. What did you think of that? Was it mostly positive? Did you see where the weakness?
Were you 60% or better?
It doesn't give, so I actually went to cafeastrology.com.
That's an excellent one. Excellent.
So, and I was able to put both of them in. It doesn't give me a percentage though, but
no,
I mean,
you just kind of figure that out. You just kind of, if you want to even count, go, oh yeah, there's 10 positive and ooh,
there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positives.
Yeah. Well, it gives you have 3 different categories too. You've got your composite.
You have more positive than challenge.
That's all you want, more positives. And then pay attention to the things that seem a little rougher or more negative.
But a lot of the
challenges. You're adults now. You're not 19. So the thing is, you can figure out how to get past some of those rougher things. Yeah. But you want your basics. You want your good communication. That's always like seriously key. And you want to have a good fondness and likability. You need to respect each other. I mean, you have to have your values the same. Right? There's got to be a few core things. Otherwise, no. Like if they're an axe murderer and you're not, like I don't care how loving and affectionate the axe murderer is. If you're really, if that's really violating your values. Right?
Jupiter, put the popcorn down.
It's popcorn. At least it's popcorn.
So before the end of the show, let's get to Stephanie and Adria. First of all, Stephanie, I didn't know that Adria was a year older than you. That's what Stephanie. Oh, Adria, rock at the cradle.
Oh God, really?
Got me a cougar.
So Stephanie is November 2nd. We already know she's a Scorpio.
Yeah.
And Adria is March 17th. Is a Pisces. So
Pisces, and that's a natural.
So that's water and water. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you guys are just a big douche together, basically.
Feelers.
They're the feelers.
They're the feelers, and you have to use, like with your water signs, you want to say "I feel" to them. With your air signs, you want to say
"I was a water sign." Ooh. I do not feel. I do not do well. I'm fire. Taurus. Earth.
No, you're Earth.
I'm Earth. Yeah, I don't do well with
fixed
water.
Earth. Like, so you're stubborn.
Just a bunch of rocks, Hallie.
That sounds like Hallie.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. It's funny because just the other day, I can be very gruff and rough sometimes, just in my speech and the way that I come across. And Nicole is just a natural, sensitive little soul, and I'm like not even trying to be mean. And she's like, "You hurt my feelings," and then I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm just talking." Like that's what I'm doing. I'm just talking. So it definitely is interesting that the different signs coming together and trying to communicate.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
What so did we say what signs? So you said basically the earth signs work well together, the air signs work well together, the fire signs. Now 2 fires. Is that an explosion waiting to happen?
Nicole's dad and I were both fire.
Well,
no, I mean, we had a particular reason we split up. But as far as our personalities, no, we actually got along very
really
well.
Good.
Yeah, we actually
Interesting.
got along.
Yeah. No, I know you did. Yeah. Well, it's a fascinating conversation. I mean, you can talk about it.
Oh, endlessly. I could go on for the next 8 hours.
And we'll have you back on the show again if you're willing to come back. You are the astrologer to
Well, you can also private message me too if you want to ask some questions.
Everybody in the world. She's looking for, just kidding. She's not looking for anything. Nana hates the thought of being set up with anybody.
Don't you dare. I'm not available.
She's not available for that. She's here for astrology questions only, even though she's a hottie.
Unless you want to send your dad's stats over, then she'll check them out.
Yeah. Exactly. Did we get any questions from our viewers, Sally?
Chanel asked about Gemini and Virgo, but I also sent her the link for the Cafe Astrology.
Yes, and that is a good place to send people. You can spend days on that site. It's very, you know, you got to kind of educate yourself a little bit on understanding the planet. You got to start, but they give you opportunity everywhere. They'll do a whole section on just what does each planet mean in the chart.
That's awesome.
Mercury is for communication.
I'm looking over it. It's super awesome.
It's phenomenal, and it'll even go way into the asteroids and everything if you want to get that complicated. So.
Denise, how often do you think somebody should have their charts read? Like,
I have many clients that come yearly. If you're going through a real crisis because of the transits, in other words, where the planets are at this given point and how they are in relationship to your particular chart, and that's how we get into like year-long divorces or big transitions of education or marriages or moving. You know, that's the bigger,
everyone in America right now because of this year needs their chart read.
No,
Yeah, right?
everyone in America, it's because it's America's chart. America's chart is a mess, and it's being aspected by the planets. I mean, it's a mess. It's
You guys are a mess.
Oh my glory, are we? Thank God. I'll be there in a month.
Yes,
I'm
Tally's
really-
coming for a visit next month.
Are you?
Yeah, she's coming
Really?
down for a concert with her love, as if they last, if it's in the
Rub
chart.
it in, guys. Rub it in.
Just kidding. They're gonna last. Thank you, Denise, for being on again. You know I love you.
Anytime.
And
Anytime.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Be sure to ask any questions that you have on the Qualk Show page. And Denise is usually one of the few people looking over the questions and liking things and doing things on there. What are we talking about next week, Callie? I don't remember.
Well, you put me on the spot.
I know, well, you're the organizer queen. Like, you
in the
should have a
digital
planner.
That's right. Dating in the digital age. I should know this. That's where I miss
Dating in
my.
the digital age.
We're gonna do a little Twitter.
Which is how Nicole and I met.
Is that Twitter? What's it called? Tinder.
Swipe to the left and swipe
To the right. Exactly. Exactly. The same way you choose sperm, as a matter of fact. But that's a story for another day. I want to thank
We
you.
did that story last season.
Yeah, exactly. I actually even have that down here, dating in the digital age, but apparently I can't read. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And tune in next week when we talk about dating in the digital age. And remember, there is always something to quack about. We'll see you next week, everybody.